Ever since it was first revealed in The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 2, fans have been eager to get more information on the legendary Mythosaur and see how it will impact the rest of the story. In the episode, Din must travel to Mandalore and bathe in its waters in order to be forgiven for taking his helmet off. Unaware of the chasm created by the Imperial bombing, Din sinks in the water and must be saved by Bo Katan, and upon her return to the surface, she comes face to face with the Mythosaur. Although not much was known about them, Mythosaurs in canon were creatures of gigantic proportions found on the outer rim world of Mandalore. They had yellowish, scaly skin with black eyes and bore two large horns on the side of their mouths. They could survive both in land and underwater. They were allegedly tamed and ridden by Mandalore the Great and by ancient Mandalorians, but they were believed to have gone extinct long before the Mandalorian cataclysm, although at least one Mythosaur survived and lived in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore, in the ruins of the civic center of Sundari, during the time of the New Republic. Its skull was one of the traditional symbols of Mandalorian iconography, and some Mandalorian armor bore the distinctive symbol. So the Mythosaur's appearance was a big talking point in the second episode. But what exactly does it mean for Bo Katan's character and the rest of the story in Season 3, now that we have some idea of where we're heading? The second season ended with Bo Katan wanting to be the one to win the Darksaber off of Moff Gideon, so that she could be its rightful wielder and ruler of Mandalore, and unite them all once again. But when we were introduced to her again this season, she had seemingly given up on that goal. For whatever reason, we still don't know. For now, Din still holds the blade, even though it doesn't seem like he's accepted the role of leader that comes with it. However, now that Bo Katan has had an encounter with the Mythosaur, that opens up a new lane for her to obtain her goals without having to fight Din for combat. The Armorer has spoke of songs of eons past in Mandalorian culture that foretold the Mythosaur rising up to herald a new age of Mandalorian culture. Right now, it seems like all Mandalorians are fragmented, with some groups scattered across the galaxy ever since the Empire turned their homeworld into rebel. The rest of the season could see Bo Katan using the Mythosaur as a symbol of status. Not only would it fulfill these ancient songs about a new age of Mandalore, but it would be a way to unite these scattered groups. As mentioned in the 5th episode, Bo Katan comes from both worlds. She originated from the classic Mandalorian culture, where removing one's helmet wasn't a problem, and by being the sister of former Duchess and a former ruler of Mandalore herself, she commands their respect, although I'm sure there will be some pushback after the way her rule ended with the Empire wiping them out. But then on the other side, she's earned the respect of the Children of the Watch by honoring their rules and even helping to save one of them. Both sides will listen to her, and the Mythosaur gives her the status and claim to the metaphorical, and possibly literal, throne of Mandalore. It's been said how the wielder of the Darksaber is the ruler of Mandalore, but I'm pretty sure that once Bo Katan's connection to the Mythosaur becomes public knowledge, she'll have the leg up on Din. Bo Katan has become just as much of a protagonist this season as Din, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get an episode, or at least an extended scene, where she returns to Mandalore and tames the Mythosaur, similar to what we saw between Boba Fett and the Rancor. This season so far has felt pretty directionless, but the pieces are starting to fall together, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this all leads up to. Let me know what your theories are in the comments below. Remember to like the video, and subscribe for weekly coverage of The Mandalorian. As always, thank you all for watching, and remember, the Force will be with you. Always.